That concludes our old business, our new business. We will now move on to council reports. Councilman Howard.
All right, Mayor, thank you very much. Thanks everybody for hanging in there with us. Just a couple of things. I could get Erica to throw a picture up there right quick. Talk about a couple of things. Hey, there it is. Kind of in line with what Mayor Pro Tem Tom West was talking about earlier with regard to, you know, how we're trying to do things to be more active in the community and be more accessible and stuff. One of the things that we've started this year is what you see there is called Coffee with Council. And every Saturday morning from 8 to 12 during the time the farmers market's going on, a number of us will be there. So far, I've been very pleasantly pleased with the folks that have come up to us. It's, you know, it's one of those things. It's going to take a little time to kind of catch on, but we're there just to kind of have an informal place to meet and greet and talk to folks and give them information. We've talked to a couple of new residents that moved into the city recently there. So we invite you to come out there. We tend to be right there pretty much in the center of all the activity there in the market. But again, as one of the results of the surveys, it's one of the things that inspired us to go ahead and continue to try to do more. If you could next, Erica. Recently, I had the opportunity to join my colleagues at the ARC. And along the same lines with regard to the citizen survey, one of the things that, you know, as you saw made a roundabout all the way around is economic development. And we were proud to win an award, and this is actually just a picture of the award. I don't physically have it. I have a picture of it. That's as close as they'd let me get. Next picture. Young lady from Gwinnett County Public Schools, Jody Reese, I believe it is, and myself and Eric Van Otteren and the member of the ARC there presented the City of Snellville the Regional Prosperity and Economic Development Award along with South Gwinnett High School's Entrepreneurship Alliance. So we're very proud to accept that award and to be very proud of what the South Gwinnett High School, you've heard the Shark Tank, you've heard the Entrepreneur Group, you've heard all those good things. This is a culmination of acknowledgement that those things work and they're good. So next picture, Erica, if you could. And Scott, Mr. Scott there was he's the teacher from the high school, so he was there along with my colleagues, Councilwoman Emmanuel, Krause, Councilwoman Emmanuel. Now that hurts. And Councilman Emmanuel. So a very proud moment for our city. Our colleagues in Swanee were there, so they were cheering us on, and it was good to see those guys. A couple other things. I want to bring to light a couple of things with Aimee Copeland. I had the very distinct privilege of delivering another check to the Copeland family this past Monday, and I was down at the house, and Andy and Connie and everybody were there. But I had gotten a phone call from the folks at Summit Chase Country Club from Adrienne Levesque, and she says they have a men's group down there that's led by Ed Cragen, and their men's group, since Amy's weekend has come and the things that they've been doing down there, every week they played golf, they've been collecting money for Aimee. And I had the very distinct privilege of delivering another check for another $1,000 to the Copeland family this past Monday. And it's the sense of community and it's the sense of what Ed and his group have done out of just the inspiration that this family has instilled upon our whole community. And I had another highlight today. And I got permission to share this with Andy because I was at the house this morning and I was visiting with Andy. Everybody see this? It's your basic box of brownies. Ultimate fudge. Barbara, this is for you. Or all the ladies, quite frankly. Andy and I were talking this morning at the house, and they're doing it. Pulte Homes is taking an enormous leap to provide Aimee's wing of 2,000 square feet onto the back of their house. And me having the opportunity to kind of get involved with this family and do some things, we've taken the water that we had left over from Aimee's weekend, and we supply every other day. We go down and ice the water and supply it to all the workers that have been working on this project. But Andy shared with me this morning, and he gave me the green light to share this story. This weekend, Aimee Copeland, this is a little tough. She baked, start to finish, brownies. That means she opened the box. That means she poured the contents. That means she broke the eggs. That means she poured the water. That means she stirred the pan. That means she put it in the oven. And the only thing he said she did not do was get it out of the oven because she was busy doing something else. Now, guys, that may seem like a small thing for us as we go to our pantry and we get something out. But let me tell you, for that family and for that kid, making brownies will never be the same. So the next time you make your box of brownies, think about that child that has absolutely overcome every obstacle. I can't imagine the obstacles being in front of me that look like that. So the next time you see a box of brownies or you eat a brownie at Chick-fil-A, which have some of the very best in the world, think about Aimee and what they've done. Thank you.
Councilman Emmanuel.
Some of you may or may not be aware, Chief Whitehead was in the hospital, had some blood clot issues. He was released last Thursday. He's home and recuperating, and he's doing well. We all want to send our best wishes to him. He's still thinking about Snellville, even though we're supposed to be sitting there relaxing and getting better. But I think a card might be in order. I'm not sure what his schedule is and whether or not we should bother him with phone calls or visits, but I'm sure a get well card would be appreciated. The farmer's market, even if you hate vegetables, go to the farmer's market. It's a good time. There's good entertainment every week, and you might even find a vegetable or other piece of non-meat that you'll enjoy eating. We have more contributions to Aimee coming along. I spoke with someone this weekend who has a device he's going to try to perfect and to sell, and a portion of all the proceeds will go to Aimee. So there's going to be plenty ongoing, and it is a remarkable story. And lastly, our volunteers. I don't know where they get the time, the energy, and the devotion, but Snellville is indeed fortunate to have the volunteer group that we have. And I'd like to challenge everybody here who hasn't volunteered to come out and join that group. You'll have a good time. You'll do a lot good for the community. And you'll be surprised at how much fun and what a good sense of fulfillment you'll have from doing something like that. Have a good trip home. Thank you for attending.
Councilwoman Kraus.
Good evening. At each council meeting, I have an opportunity to tell you about my thoughts and feelings during the council reports. There are many times when I really want to tell you something or explain why I made a decision that I made or how I personally feel about the agenda items. At times, I have also wanted to go into more detail about the research on initiatives I'm working on. However, when it is my turn to speak, sometimes I'm afraid to say how I feel, even though I know you are not hearing all the facts. I hate confrontation, and I would rather concentrate on all the positive things that are happening in Snellville. But tonight, I have a few things to say. In my 40 40 years of being a public servant, I have never been called untrustworthy, unprofessional, dishonest, misleading, or unbelievable. The accusations made during the last council meeting were unjustified and insulting. They have hurt me and my family. And these baseless accusations have also insulted and hurt other members of this council. I have worked for and with a vast, diversified realm of wonderful, wonderful people. Although we did not always agree, we were always able to work the situation or decision out because we were truly dedicated to doing what's best for the people that we serve. From leadership roles in school, the police department, business employments, and my faith community, I can still to this day call all those I worked with friend. Going forward, these are some of the concerns I have. I have done some preliminary research about a disaster plan for the city. I understand the county has a major plan which includes all the city. To an extent, the county will help us with GMA and FEMA requests if necessary. However, sometimes a disaster to Snellville may not have the same effect to the county, and we may find ourselves on our own. I want us prepared. At this time, it has occurred to me that I cannot go any further in this project without the assistance of a city manager. I need his experience and guidance, along with the staff's, to further understand all that is involved in putting together a disaster plan to keep our citizens safe. At this time, I am putting my research on hold until the city has a manager in place. I also want to express my feelings about the city charter in reference to our boards. At the next work session, I will put forth changes to the city charter to be considered to allow more council input into the selection of candidates to serve on the city boards. Presently, we have no representation on the Evermore CID board and have not had a representative or even a candidate since 2011. We have vacancies on our Board of Appeals and the Planning Commission and the DDA. Council has researched applications, agreeing on very capable, sometimes outstanding applicants. However, they have not been appointed. Terms of some board members have expired, and these volunteers who have given so much to the city have been told that they will not be appointed to continue to serve. I don't understand why knowledgeable people who have contributed to Snellville's success are being tossed aside like an old newspaper. As an example, I have been given no explanation as to why someone with a PhD in planning who wants to continue serving and who has made a positive difference on this board will now have their term ended. I ran for city council because I saw so many good things happening in Snellville, and I wanted to be a part of making our city even better. Insults and accusations will not change that. I will continue to work as I always have, doing what's best for the people I serve. Snellville, I need the tools to do my work. Thank you for your attention for my council report.
Thank you, Councilwoman Kraus. Mayor Pro Tem Witz.
No comment.
Councilman Sabah.
Thank you, Mayor. Mine is very brief. I know we are in the hot days of summer right now. I just implore everybody to dehydrate as best as you can. In fact, a lot of the government agencies has taken quite a bit of effort to inform employees to dehydrate every possible chance they can. I mean, this is can be a problem. And my prayers to the chief. I pray that he gets back in great health.
Thank you, Councilman Sabah. Now for the mayor's report.